We won't forget that. Skylar Mays elevates and throws it down.
Mike Schmitz of ESPN. We're here with Skylar Mays, a senior guard at LSU. Skylar, I think scouts know your game by now. You know, you started 120 of 130 games in your collegiate career, improved, each and every season. But for the general fan watching this who maybe doesn't know much about you, how would you describe yourself as a player?
Yeah, I look at myself as very versatile. I kind of look at myself as like a Swiss Army knife, just a guy who's able to do a lot of things and, bring a lot of different threats to the game offensively and defensively.
Yes, I'm curious because you played a lot of different roles at LSU, right? You had big name guys coming in, and then you're kind of playing off the ball, but then this year it was kind of your show. Is there anyone you watch in the NBA and say, okay, I could maybe be like that guy?
Yeah, I watch a lot of Greg Heyer, one of the assistant coaches here at LSU. He's been my main player development guy who since, pretty much Coach Wade got here. We've been at it every day. And we watched a lot of Fred VanVleet as far as, finishing around the rim and being able to understand your steps and things like that. But I watch a lot of Malcolm Brogdon also, Derek White, and Corey Joseph also.
Yeah, those are great names. We sprinkled in a little bit of Derek White, a little bit of Brogdon in here, and we'll get into your finishing and all that. So we're going to break down your game, kind of some areas you've been really strong, and then also maybe some areas, you're still working through while also throwing in some clips of those NBA guys. So before we get into kind of the categorical stuff, I want you to talk me through these couple plays here and what you remember about these, because I think people see you as a powerful guy, a strong guy, but I don't know if everyone realizes that you have this. Have you always been a guy who can just put guys on posters like that?
Yeah, when I was able to do it a lot more in high school, but obviously there's a lot more length at the college level, but I definitely feel like I'm capable of getting up over on top of people, and I'm confident once I get in that lane area, and I think I can finish at a pretty high level. And that's just one of my better plays, being able to get downhill and get over the top of somebody.
We're going to start with your ball screen scoring, okay? Because I think that this is maybe one of the most underrated aspects of your game. I know you weren't a super, super high volume guy throughout your entire career, but if you look at the most efficient ball screen scorers in college basketball this year with at least 100 possessions, okay? This is according to Synergy. Who do you think was first?
I think I'm up there. I don't know if I'm first, but I think I'm pretty high up there.
Yeah, you're first.
That's kind of my good. I'm first?
You're first. You're ahead of,
that's dope, man.
I think right ahead of Jordan Ford out of St. Mary's.
Yeah, he's definitely high volume. We played him last year. Really quality player. That's a good name to be up there with.
Yeah, he's a bucket. And so I think people have seen you play in these different roles, but you were really, really efficient, in this role this season. I think, over 55% from 2, 39% from 3, positive assist to turnover ratio. So I think you've proven to teams that they can't go under on you and just dare you to shoot, right? So when you're facing these drops, these weeks that you're probably going to see a lot in the NBA, what are you looking at as you come off as a scorer?
Yeah, I think within the offense, Coach Wade did a great job of getting me the ball, through DHOs and, just catching it on the move and being able to, knowing that I'm not the quickest guy, giving me an advantage as soon as I get it. So Cortez is one of my favorite guys to set screens for me, and I was able to, just get over it and knock the shot down.
Yeah, so you're looking at that big, right? And
yeah, that big's way too far in, and I'm just taking what he gives me.
Yeah, just hopping into that, on balance, guard gets caught, and then you're able to knock that down. So then they got to honor you there, right?
Right.
So then what do you do?
Right here, this is my go-to with my spin move. Just growing up as being one of the, one of the guys who's not the fastest. I make sure that my counters are on point, and the spin move is pretty much my go-to counter, so I'm able to use it in a bunch of different ways.
Yeah, and we'll get into that a little bit more. Your spin move, that's clearly the move you like to go to, and you're powerful with it, you're quick with it, you have good balance. But again, because you're a threat to kind of stop and pop there, the big's got to play up kind of at the level of the screen, and then you can dust them. Just kind of understanding angles and all that is really good. So now if they are able to kind of corral you a little bit, right, and the guard gets over, then what do you have?
right here, I'm able to get into the guy's body, and you know, I see Emmett rolling really hard for me, so the big can't necessarily play me as well as he would want to, and I'm able to get into Jordan Harris's body and push off of him and get a look that I really like in the mid-range jumper.
Yep, and just getting into the body and creating space.
Yep.
And have you always had that in your game, kind of putting guys in jail and putting them on your back, or is that new?
Yeah, I was taught that. I don't remember who taught me in high school, but you know, just getting my inside leg in front of the defender and being able to use it as leverage to either push off or just, like you said, put him in jail and be able to get downhill.
And then so now you can kind of play off of that. So what are you looking at here?
Right here, now that I've got, you know, Kyler pretty much behind me, it's pretty much me and the big, and, you know, I don't remember this exact play, but hopefully I made the right read. Yeah, I was able to get in the paint and wait till the big had to decide what to do and get in the paint and draw a foul.
Yep, and that's what it is so often, right? You're kind of playing with that big and making him choose whether you're using your eyes or your change of pace, and it's going to help when you have a pop like that, like Trendon or a guy who can step out and shoot the ball, right?
Exactly.
Because he's kind of got to pick his poison, and you know he picks Trendon, and then you get downhill, get to the free throw line. So I think just kind of your change of pace and your smarts, your understanding of how to use your body is what's kind of allowed you to, you know, be effective in those situations. Do you remember this play?
Yeah, I'm able to split it. I think I did it behind. Yeah, I did it behind the back there. That's not the ideal move in that type of situation, but I was able to get it through and, you know, again finish at the rim.
Yeah, so are you, I mean, you seem really comfortable with your left, whether it's passing.
Yeah, I love it. I love having the ball in my left hand, especially going downhill, and I feel like I'm better at spinning back right versus going right and spinning back left. So, yeah, I love pretty much everything we ran was for me to have the ball in my left hand and get downhill. Your
spin moves, okay? You mentioned this is a huge part of your game, and you had a lot of success against switches in these situations. What are you looking at in terms of his stance or how he's guarding you to go to this move?
Yeah, just looking at him to, you know, open up somewhat so I can, and definitely getting in his body so I'm able to kind of spin off of him and use his weight shift to my advantage, and I can just kind of spin off him and, you know, get to the lane. Yeah,
really impressive, and he's not the most laterally quick guy and really good player, but, you know, you're able to kind of put him through the spin cycle. And then again here, I mean, that's incredible balance. Take me through this one.
Yeah, that's kind of like a different type of spin move. You know, and that's my buddy right there, Adriel. But yeah, just again trying to get into his body and spin off of him, and you know, make sure I'm back balanced and make a play. I had to put my hand on the ground to get back right up and just trying to finish at the rim.
Yeah, that's like the old slip and slide move. You remember that?
Yeah.
That's a throwback.
Something like that.
Yep. No, again, impressive body control, and D. White is another guy who really likes to use these spins. Not the same exact situation, but he's really graceful with it, gets back to his left hand. And, you know, I definitely think that's a good model for you, a guy who can play on the ball, off the ball a little bit. And he's got an incredible story. I mean, he was a, you know, D3 player.
Yeah.
So definitely a guy to look at and study. So one thing I'll say, maybe an area you have room to improve is these hang pull-ups. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. You know, using it more as using my shoulders more, what I've been told, using my shoulders more to get the guy on his heels a little bit more so I can get just that much more separation to get a better look. Yeah,
because you're probably going to get, if you're, I think the question is, are you a full-time lead guard, right? And if you are, then you're going to have a Bam Adebayo switched out on you on an island, and it's, can you go get a bucket? And and how comfortable do you feel in those situations?
Yeah, I feel good. I like myself. I play with that confidence. I like myself against anybody. So, you know, there's obviously room where I have to improve, but, you know, I think I definitely know I'm going to put the work in to, you know, put myself in position when those opportunities come.
Where do you think you're at as a pick and roll playmaker, and anyone else you look at to study in that regard?
I think I'm really good in the pick and roll. I think I'm really good at getting downhill and occupying the big.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think I'm great at scoring, and I think I can, you know, improve a lot. You know, passing, but you know, I like where I am down as a pick and roll player, and you know, I prefer the middle ball screen. And,
Yeah.
You know, that's where I think I'm most effective.
Yep. And so we'll kind of touch on some of your reads here. And again, like I said, you know, really good going to your left. What are you looking at here as you come off?
Right there, I probably should have. I hope I passed it to Days at the field. So
Yeah.
I don't remember that play, but yeah, just getting it out of my hand. Once I occupy Adrio enough, I'm able to get it to Days and hope he makes the right play, which he did.
Yeah, and trusting your bigs, right? Whether it's a reject
Right.
here, kind of those hook passes, and then you're playing basketball. Yeah, and like I said, going to your left, you seem really, really comfortable. What's your read here?
Yeah, in this case, I was kind of trying to make eye contact with Days, and he figured it out. And, you know, getting it out of my hands because the big was too far over in this, like, ice. And, you know, Days made a hard cut, and he reaped the benefits.
Yep, and that's a big boy dunk right there. And so, all right, we've seen you hit the roller, right? And so what's kind of the next natural step in these ball screens of the progression?
Yeah, you're looking at the replace guy, I would think.
Yep.
And see how the help guys playing that, and you know, I could hit Trendon here, or I could, you know, just pass it to Days and hope he quicks it over.
Yeah, no, that's great. And again, you don't turn it over here. You don't do anything negative. I think it's just talking through, you know, what are the reads as you come off. So what I'd be looking at is that weak side tag, right? And because you got Jericho Sims who's got to recover to the big, so then the weak side tag is helping until he gets back. And a lot of times you'll see, you know, like a Luka Doncic or a LeBron or guys like that be able to make that skip to the corner.
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe one of the next steps, you know, for you is really being able to use both sides of the floor. And then I love this. This is exactly what I'm talking about, right? So what do you look at as you come off?
Yeah, like you said, the weak side tag, and Emmett's able to roll and occupy him, so Marlon has a wide open look and knocks it down.
And so we've seen you, you know, have success hitting the roller. We've seen you kind of start to make those progressions where you're hitting the weak side shooter. There were some times where I feel like teams were loaded up on you, right? You got a lot of charges this year?
Yeah. That's a play where I just kind of get caught up dribbling it too much, and I just need to pass it out and keep the ball moving. But yeah, I went back to my spin move, and I just need to keep the ball moving right there.
Yeah, probably the kick out to the right corner. But again, you know, you study this stuff. You know the game. I don't think you'll have any trouble adjusting with that. And so we've talked about the on-ball stuff, and then I think, like you said, being a Swiss Army knife, the fact that you can play off of it too is really beneficial. So have you always been a guy who spaces the floor off the catch, like as a shooter, or what were you like more back in the day?
No, I definitely wasn't a shooter. I was a guy who didn't shoot the ball that much. Probably didn't shoot it enough. But,
yeah,
you know, that's just a reps thing, especially the catch and shoot.
Yep. Yeah, and you can see it here. What stands out most is just your shot prep, right?
Right, being ready.
Yeah.
That's something that Coach Heyer really stressed for me, and you know, making sure that my feet were right. I used to have a bad twist in my shot, and you know, we really worked on that really hard, and most of it was just being ready and making sure I'm locked in on the catch.
Yeah, and speeding it up and all that, and you can see it here. I think this is a perfect example of that. A great rhythm into it on the hop, and your range really extended this year too. I mean, you hit some deep ones, I think, against Texas, and so you know, I don't think you'll have any trouble playing off of, you know, another big playmaker if that happens to be the case. And you do a really, really good job of, you know, staying extended, using every ounce of your length, using touch, spin, all that stuff.
Right.
And really one of the first things that stood out to me is these inside hand finishes. And here's another situation where it seems you love to go to that left. Talk me through this. This is last year.
Yeah, this is off 2 feet, I love the inside hand. When I'm jumping off of 2 feet, I love the inside hand finish, and you know, that's just another thing we work on. We work on, you know, inside foot, inside finish, 2 feet inside finish, and you know, trying to extend the range on those type of finishes out as far as we can.
And then you can do it with the right also. What do you see here?
Yeah, just getting into that Euro, being able to, time my steps right, and again, finish in hand, put a little twist on it.
Yeah, a little bit of sauce, huh?
Yeah, put a little English on it.
No, that's great. And again, understanding how to kind of dodge those dig men too. A lot of times guys just kill it right there, and you're able to stride it out. And the Euros, you really keep defenders off balance. What's the key to this?
Yeah, just again, it's kind of a go-to. It's kind of a feel thing, instinct, and just trying to wiggle around guys and make sure I'm not picking up the charge there.
Yeah, that's really good. And you had a lot of finishes off of that too, but that's just kind of a glimpse of it. But like I said earlier, one of the things that stood out most about you was just your willingness to take contact. And that's impressive. You don't always see that. I think probably you're one of the more physical guards in this draft. Where does that come from?
Yeah, I've always played that way since I've never been, one of the quicker guys. I've always tried to use my strength to my advantage and be able to, tire guys by trying to dish out the beating. And that's something we kind of stress at LSU. We call it Big Guard University. So we kind of try to get in the guys, be physical, and use that to our advantage as much as possible.
That's great, and because you're not just that, you also have the tricks, right? And
right.
You have the finesse, like we talked about. So I think that's a perfect blend for you as you translate to the next level. I think you made 9. This is according to Synergy, so it's different stats, but I think you made 9 floaters in your 4 years.
Right.
What are you studying there? To how are you trying to add that to your game?
Yeah, I think that's a reps thing. I've always felt like I can just kind of get to the rim at will and didn't really need to have a floater in my game. But obviously at the next level, it's going to be a huge part of my finishes and just something I need to get more reps at. And that's pretty much number one on my thing outside of continue to improve on my jump shot that I really want to add into my game and really get comfortable with.
All right, so we hit on your offense, and like I said, you've improved each and every season, and were very reliable throughout the course of your career. Now, defensively, how would you rate yourself?
I think I've got room to improve, but I'm glad with the progress I've made. Early in my career, it was pretty obvious that teams would pick on me, but now it's kind of like I can see in some situations where teams would kind of try to avoid me and take me out of the plays. But I just try to be disruptive the best I can and just be dependable. And Coach Wade depended on me a lot to make big defensive plays and take on big defensive matchups.
I was really impressed with kind of your trajectory over your career. So this is from, I think, your freshman year. What was Colin Sexton like to guard?
Yeah, this is from...
or maybe your sophomore year?
It's from sophomore year. Colin's obviously a tough cover. He's just really dynamic with the ball and has a lot of different... he's really herky-jerky, so I was just trying to stay solid and force him into the help as best as I could. But, first off, contain him, Yeah,
it was great. And that's just a good example of your foot speed and your ability to defend without fouling. And again, This is earlier in your career, but that's great. Just making him work. A guy who was a top 10 pick, and then this is this year. I think. What does Matt Coleman like to do?
Go left, and he's really good with the step back going right, but he loves to go left, and he's looking for his guys. I'm not sure what play he made here, but
no, it's great defense. That's great defense. I mean, you kind of sit on that left hand. You're able to stay step for step. And then, like we said, that's what teams want, right? They want to force you in a contested mid-range pull-up, and that was really good. Now, Kyra Lewis, okay, what does he like to do?
He loves to go right, and he makes a lot of plays for shooters. On this team, he didn't have as many shooters, but he had a lot more this year. But we tried to force him left and like ice ball screens and keep him on the left side of the floor as much as possible. But he's really good going right downhill.
Yeah, and again, you can just see kind of your quickness, your technique, kind of forcing him to help and just doing a really good job staying step for step with guys like that. Now, did have a few missteps here and there. You remember this play?
No, I don't.
So who was that, Drew Smith?
Yeah, Drew Smith.
What does he like to do?
Get downhill, and he used the trigger screen really well. And just got me to open up, and he got downhill on me.
Yep, and I think just constantly sitting down as much as you can, right, is the key. But in general, I thought you did a great job playing guys' tendencies. You know, Nemhard, you do a great job keeping him on the sideline here, and then, you know, that left-hand contest, that's really, really good. Making guys uncomfortable and just, you know, forcing them into spots they don't want to be in. Now, in ball screens, what's the key to being an effective pick-and-roll defender? What does it start with?
Being engaged and being into the screen and trying to just get through the screen the best I can. And, you know, I like to give guys different looks. Sometimes I'll try to make it seem like I'm if I remember this play right, I try to make it seem like I got caught on the screen, and I'll just, you know, run up behind him and tip it behind him like that.
Yeah, it was a veteran.
And get a breakaway.
Veteran trick,
that's
right?
That's more of a veteran move, yeah.
No, I love it, though.
And this was his first game playing college basketball, so we were trying to make it really tough on him.
Yeah, straight out of Uruguay.
Vescovi, yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember watching this one live, and I think just making him uncomfortable, right? And you're a lot harder to screen when you're pressuring the ball like that. And so I think we saw that at times from you here against Nichols, you know, just being really aggressive and being difficult to screen and making guys uncomfortable. Now, you might have to chase around some shooters, okay?
Yeah.
You remember this play? I think he got you a couple times.
Yeah, he got me 2 plays in a row and just got caught on the screens, not being engaged as much as I should have been, especially at that point in the game with us down 4. You know, that's just all on me, but good shot by him. I still was able to get there and try to contest, but again, good shot by him.
Yeah, and he's kind of a street guy. I know he's, you know, a little bit up and down as a shooter, but one thing I'll say is if you're guarding a J.J. Redick or a Landry Shamet or one of those guys, then it's like
you be there.
Yeah, exactly. And not even shooting the gap so much, but staying attached to his hip, to his back, and just straight chasing, right?
Definitely.
And I think that's how you can get those guys off their spots. But again, that's a big time shot. And overall, I think you're really active. When you did get screened, you're communicating here, switch. Your big's communicating, and then, like you said, you're really, really good jumping the passing lanes. You're up, active, trying to blow things up. You know, watching through your film again, watching your progression over the years, I really do think you have kind of the makeup of one of these undervalued guys who's going to be, you know, way better than where he's drafted, whether that is in the first round or not. You know, I think you're an impact player, you know, from day one in the NBA. So what are you looking at through this process? I know it's kind of a strange time, but do you look at it like, you know, I need to be a first-round pick, or it's about situation and fit? How do you view all that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm a first-round talent. I know I'm a first-round talent, but you know, things don't always go that way. But I'm just excited to figure out where I end up and ready to get to work and, you know, be a part of a team with a championship mindset, because I know that's the mindset that I bring. Yeah,
no, I agree, Skylar, and it's been great to watch your, like I said, your progression, you know, throughout the years, and you know, I think you're going to make a GM and an organization look very smart, whoever drafts you. So I appreciate you taking the time to chop it up and break down your film, and good luck the rest of the way.
No doubt. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for all the stuff you taught me, too. You know, there's a lot that I can take from this session. It was really helpful, so I really appreciate you.
Of course, man. Thanks so much.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.